Hi all, it's Barb coming to you by Craft Studio. I have another haul to share with you. I got my HSN order. It's the organized option 2 plus one other thing I ordered. And I also have some things from Dollar General and Amazon. So Dollar General, hubby and I went there today, so I just wanted to share real quick. I bought some of these little bags because I've seen people use them or talk about using them in junk journals, so I thought I would go ahead and pick them up. So those are the two designs in each thing. I really like this one here and that one. And then I bought this little box because I thought I could alter it. Opens up like that. I thought I could kind of do maybe like one of those little bookcases or something in there like you see people do out of Altoid tins. That was my reasoning when I picked it up. Amazon. Let's see, do I have something I can kind of put behind these? I left them. Maybe here. Maybe this would work. I ordered some Valentine's. They call them DTF. Direct to fabric, I think it's called. You iron them on. There were several of them in this pack. It's love time. It was actually called like Christian or something, but there's only a few that are religious. The Cupid blowing the bubble. My daughter really liked these ones, and there's a few of them, so I might ask her if she wants to pick up a t-shirt and I can make her one. All booked for Valentine's. Or I could check my stash and see if I have an extra red shirt and I could do it that way for her. All booked for Valentine's. Less Cupid, more stupid. I think it's supposed to be like a Galentine's type thing, but the more stupid sounds weird. This one, I actually like that one. The bow. Now this is probably one I wouldn't use. The dog. I'm more of a cat person than a dog person. This book with a cup of coffee. I don't drink coffee. I like matchas and chais. See, I don't mind this one because that could be a chai or matcha. Books are my Valentine. Like a disco ball heart. With a big old bow on it. A bear that says love. This one was, definitely religious. It says, let all that you have done in love. 1 Corinthians. No, I probably won't use that one. I'm not a religious person. I'm getting less and less religious with what this country is trying to claim as Christian. I probably wouldn't use that one either. The cowboy hat ruins it for me. I like the heart, but I probably wouldn't use this one either. Love like Jesus. Love you, cherry much? The bow with the cherries. This one, Howdy Valentine. Again, I doubt that I would use that. I figured there were enough in here for the price I paid that I would use that I was okay not using a few. I'm not usually into the Highland cows, but I do think that one's cute. This one's XOXO with the bow. It says love like Jesus. I think that's supposed to be a cross. I was going to say I could cut the like Jesus off, but it's still got a cross there. This one says another one says I love you cherry much. This little like paint swirl heart type. It almost looks like locks of hair. Is that what it's supposed to be? I think it's supposed to be paint swirls, but it kind of reminded me of. This is another one, like the disco cowgirl type thing. That theme just kind of escapes me. I don't mind the disco ball heart with the love. Like this one, I would probably cut the like Jesus off and just put the love with the bow on it. Don't hate me for saying that. I'm just right now really, really turned off from religion. People claiming they're Christians and then basically embracing all this hate. That's not Christian. That's the exact opposite of being a Christian. Sorry. And isn't it terrible that it turns people away from? They're actually having the opposite effect of what they want, because what they claim they want, because they're turning people away from it. Because a lot of people are like me, are going, if that's Christianity, I want no part of it. That's not the Jesus that I was raised on. The Jesus I was raised on says, love your neighbors. Doesn't say unless. Valentine vibes. I like that one too. I kind of like this one too. There was another one that I must have missed. I must have pulled two up at once. There was one that kind of looked like a cat. Either that or oh, wait a minute. Here it is. Here it is. I thought this one would be cute for my younger daughter. It reminds me of the silhouette of her cat that she lost. I like it too, but it really made me think of her. The last few items in there are HSN. I did want to share this. This one I got from the organized option, but I just wanted to show you. This was the created case number 2 with the small basic box set. So this is what it looks like when you get those boxes put together and the little clips attach them. The little white things you see at the bottom, I labeled. Tiffany kind of recommended it. I labeled what box they were. I think these ones were all lettered boxes. So I put the letter of the box on the bottom of the box so that I would know if I ever thought, oh, I need more of this box, I can just look at the bottom of it and see what that box was. I should get another one like that. Well, actually, I'll probably have one. I found this diamond painting cards. It was in a secret sale, but I found it I ordered over the weekend. Craft day was yesterday, but I ordered over the weekend. And it was the same price over the weekend that it was for the secret sale. Usually the secret sale prices, you have to go through that link to get those prices. And this time, it didn't seem like you needed to. It seemed like they just represented that price there. But I thought these were cute little diamond paintings. Christmas Story, Frosty, and Elf. So I need to get busy working on some of my diamond paintings. I have so many of them now. And then the other item I ordered was the Creative Case collection. Now, this one, some people were having a really hard time finding it because it wasn't classified as the organized option. They think they have since fixed that. I'm not sure, but I think they have since fixed that. And I did notice, I think they also have the individual pieces now listed on the website. So if you don't want the whole set, you can order just the size one that you want. Okay. This is the Create Case collection. Now, the big one that's holding all of them is case number 1, which is called the Carry It All. And it measures, does it say there? No, it doesn't. I was hoping it would say on the big thing, but it doesn't say. It was one that I was actually wondering if it would hold my template studio from We Are Makers now. Back when I bought the template studio, it was We Are Memory Keepers. I'm a little concerned about them. I'm wondering if they're just going to go away. It's weird that this one doesn't seem to have the size on it anywhere. Oh, wait a minute. Create a case number 1. 18 by 13 by 4 is what that one was. Trying to juggle these all is not easy. Number 2 is the one that I just showed you holding those, the basic boxes. This is just the case. It's create a case number 2, the perfect for packing, which is 13 by 13 by 1. So good for your 12 by 12 supplies. 6, 7, 2. Number 3 is called the catch-all carrier. It's 13 by 3 by 4.5. And she does give you some ideals on the back of what could potentially fit in there, which is kind of nice. She also has a product grid that kind of tells you, I think, what goes in there. I was glad she brought those back from her old thing. This is create a case number 4, the travel take along, which is 11 by 5.5 by 3. You know what? It does say on the back of these. I'm going to just go back real quick. Number 2, the 13 by 13 by 1 says it's perfect for travel, 12-inch crafting supplies, quilting, fabric, embroidery hoops, clothing storage, and shoe storage. Number 3 says it's good for medications, craft tools, belts and straps, and fat quarters. It's number 3. I think this was number 4, which this one says it's great for travel, especially you could put a pair of shoes in it. Crafts, large tools, and die cutting machine pads, because this one measures 11 by 5.5 by 3. Camping, put your seasonings and spices in there, and it will hold cords and cables. Number 5 is the Simply Squared. It's 7.5 by 3 by 7.5. It's good for 6 by 6 paper pads. You could put a label maker in there. I'm trying to read. It's kind of covering part of what it's showing on the back. Games. I think that's all it lists, but there's that one. Number 6 is the Tiny Tote, which measures 7.5 by 3 by 3 3/4. Says it's good for markers, embroidery floss, hair accessories, pens, silverware, and baker's twine. So like silverware that you're bringing like on a camping trip or something. Great place to keep it. And number 7 is the Long and Lean, which measures 13 by 3 by 2. This one, some of the suggested things you might be able to put in there are rulers and scissors, pouncers. I think the ones she shows are from Stamps of Life, socks and undies, and a flat iron. So up to 4 create a case, and the number 7 Long and Lean case can be packed into 1 create a case number 2, perfect for packing case. So you can put 4 of these in number 2, the 12 by 12 one, it says. But, you know, that is all I had to share with you today. I'm not sure what I'm going to store in them. I know I'll find a use for it. Honestly, I think with some of the ones that I bought from Tiff this time, this Create a Case collection, the Perfect Pouch collection, I think some of those may be like temporary things. Oh, I need to carry this from here to there. This will work perfect. I can load it up with what I need. And like if I'm working on a project and I get it all cut out over here, I can pack it into either one of the pouches or one of the cases and bring it over to the house and assemble it. That way I don't have to have everything. I'm thinking I might try to take one of the either cases or pouches and put these in. I should find maybe the pouch, which size it would work best in, and order a few of them to put these in. I could put like the different seasons in there. But right now I have a temporary spot that I can put those in, which is what I will do. I am just so excited to have Tiffany back. I know it was kind of a long, hard road for her getting back. And I think she's as thrilled to be back as we are to have her back. Um, it was funny. She called me probably 9, 10 months ago. She reached out to me through one of the other GOC people that I keep in contact with and says, "Do you have her number?" So she said, can you give me my number and I can relay it to Tiff?" So I did, and she called me. She kind of wanted to talk to me about what was going on and the possibility of launching this. And she also wanted to ask me how I was doing and how my husband was doing and if we'd settled in the move. She really is just the sweetest person. We've met a few times in person at shows, and after the first time when I introduced myself, she knew who I was. I mean, she the next time I seen her, she greeted me by name and she's like, "Oh, Barb," and she reaches out and she gives me a big hug. And my husband was there at the time, and this was before his health problems. He goes, "She knew who you were." I said, "Yeah, she did." He goes, "That's pretty impressive because you've only met her that one time." I said, "Well, she does see me on Facebook and stuff, chat." He goes, "Yeah, but still, I don't know too many people who run companies, even with a social media thing, who would link the face to the name." He says it was very impressive. Don't don't shortchange her there or yourself. It was impressive, but she knew who you were. So I'm like, yeah, she's a sweetheart. She really is. So it's great to see her launching this new company, and I hope that it's doing really well. It was great to see her back on HSN because it had been a long time since she'd been on HSN. She was on once or twice early after Crafter's Companion bought Totally Tiffany, because she was supposed to remain the face of the company when they did it. That was one of the things that was in the contracts and all that. She was supposed to be the face of the company still, and it just kind of they just stopped. Part of it was their financial issues, I know, because they don't call it bankruptcy in the UK. They call it something else. Receivership is? I want to say receivership, but I could be wrong. I I don't live in the UK. I don't know anybody who lives in the UK, so I don't know the terminology. But I think that's what I heard it called to as. But it's basically the equivalent of US bankruptcy. Crafter's Companion went into bankruptcy. Sarah had sold her company, and then she ended up repurchasing it somehow, even through all that. I don't know the logistics of that. Don't really care. Honestly, I probably won't order too much. I didn't order too much Crafter's Companion before all this, so it's not like I'm not ordering out of spite or whatever. I just didn't buy a lot of their stuff. I bought a few of these kits when I found them at Tuesday morning. Most of the stuff I bought it like Tuesday morning outside of the Gemini, which I ordered direct from them, and that was just because I have a hard time cranking machines at sometimes because I have chronic pain in my hands. I have fatigue. So sometimes cranking that machine, people say, "Well, you should never have trouble." I said, "You don't understand. Somebody who doesn't have that chronic pain and chronic fatigue, or doesn't know somebody that they're fairly close to it that has gone through it, has no clue what I'm talking about." I said, "What you think is hard and what I think is hard are two different things." Um, yeah, when I'm doing well, it's usually not an issue for me to crank the machine. I like my marquee for embossing folders because I never really had too much trouble getting those through. It was die sandwiches that sometimes would get a little hard. And certain machines were harder to crank than others. The marquee never seemed to give me too much trouble. I the Cuttlebug used to be my main machine that I had, and then I found a Big Shot at a garage sale, so really cheap, so I bought it, and then I think I bought the Gemini, the big one from Crafter's Companion, and I found the Gemini Junior on clearance at Hobby Lobby one year. Honestly, I bought it for that size plates. It was cheaper to buy the whole machine and get those plates than it was just to buy the plates. Plus, ended up getting a bunch of dyes and stuff with it that were different than the ones that came with my big Gemini. So I'm like, this is a deal. And sometimes I'll get that one out instead of the big one because it's less. It takes up a smaller footprint. But I do still like the big one. I always kind of wanted the Pro, but I really couldn't justify the cost of it. But I really did want it. But nothing. You also have to have a storage place for it. Now that one, if I had gotten it, I probably would have left on top of my cart, and I would have put the regular Gemini somewhere else because that way I wouldn't have had to move that big monster. But I never did find. I never did get it. It was just too costly for me to justify it when I already had other machines. I like the 12 by 12 size. So looking back, I'm kind of glad I didn't get it because I thought maybe they would eventually come out with like dies to fit that 12 by 12 size so you could do bigger projects. And I don't think they ever really did. So maybe it was in their plan, and then with the financial issues, they just ditched it, I guess, because I'm not even sure it's available on their website anymore. I haven't really looked real well. I did, the one day I looked because they were having a big clearance sale and they had given me rewards because I'm a platinum member. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go see if there's anything there that I would like. But I don't too often. I never really did that much. I mainly ordered from Crafter's Companion because of the Totally Tiffany stuff. Um, every now and then might I have thrown a Crafter's Companion item in? Yeah, but it's not something I buy a lot of because the only place you can find it in my area is either Crafter's Companion or HSN. So I didn't buy a whole lot of it. Back when we had a Tuesday morning, I used to pick up more of it, but even then it wasn't a whole lot because I was never lucky enough to find a whole lot of it. But anyways, that's all I've got to share today. Hope you didn't mind all the chit chat. Like I said, drop me a note. And I did save the chit chat mainly for the end. I try to do that. I'm trying to be better about that so I don't have to splice it all up. But anyways, I'll catch you next time.